Hello YouTube, / and welcome to this video. We'll be talking about the ongoing conflict in Sudan between its military and paramilitary forces. As reported, Sudan's rival military forces have accused each other of violating a fresh ceasefire. Even with extended ceasefire periods, the deadly fighting has continued for a third week despite warnings of a slide toward civil war. It's been estimated that 528 people have been killed and 4,599 wounded since the conflict began on April 15th. To make matters worse, tens of thousands of people have been forced to flee the conflict, and the UN has stated that the true number of casualties could be far higher. The fighting in the Sudanese capital of Khartoum has RSF fanning out across the city as the army targets them with drone and fighter jets. This conflict has prompted foreign governments to scramble to evacuate their citizens, and UN Emergency Relief Coordinator Martin Griffiths has stated that the country's humanitarian situation is reaching breaking point. Additionally, Griffiths mentioned that looting of humanitarian offices and warehouses had caused aid supply shortages. The UN Special Representative in Sudan, Volker Perthes, mentioned that while there were no direct negotiations, regional and international countries were working with both sides to try and come to a ceasefire. However, prospects for negotiations have not been successful yet. Families are now struggling to access water, food, fuel, and other commodities, with 6,000, mostly women, having been forced to flee the fighting to the neighboring Central African Republic. Central African Republic is one of the poorest countries in the world, and as such is not equipped to take in refugees. This conflict has drastically impacted the nation of Sudan, and before the fighting, a third of its 46 million people already needed humanitarian aid. This dire situation has caused the UN to state that an urgent solution is needed to halt the fighting. We'll